I have a post-throw cool down, I call it, which is a whole nother separate thing. And then I kind of have a whole body rehab routine that I follow that involves a cold plunge and a sauna and a bunch of other things that I think we could get into next, but maybe you want to explain.
Well, I was going to kind of coming off that with your cool down aspect. Was it more of a dynamic, like blood flow enhancing kind of movement based, not as much packing ice around your arm anymore, right?
Yeah, ice is funny. I think when I was younger, it was ice everything you can, ice everything you can. When I got to Notre Dame, I threw more at Notre Dame than I threw anywhere else. And I think I threw way too much. My arm was killing me every year I was here. Just kind of the way it went. I think college is a little bit different than the NFL. If the ones went in and I took a 12-play rack, throw the ball 12 times, not that big of a deal, but if the twos went in and they didn't do well, they throw their ones back in there, and then you go to a special teams period and you throw. We tracked one practice. I think I threw like 220 balls in a day, and I would do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, half day Friday, and then a game Saturday. So I'd have Sunday and Monday off, so it just wasn't enough. My arm was killing me. The post-throw stuff for me is what I learned was I didn't love, and you guys know more than this than I do, but I was never a huge fan. My elbow would always hurt me, and then the back of my shoulder. So I didn't like having this, be hot and sweaty, have all this be, as warm and elastic as it's ever been, and then go slapping on ice and just freezing it. So I would do these trampoline ball throws to help really focus on all of my grip strength. I always felt like if my elbow was hurting, I could do something here and I could do something up here and it would help me in the middle. So I did a bunch of forearm recovery with grip strength and then shoulder, eyes, YTs, all that, just to build up my shoulder and my forearm, knowing that that would help with my elbow.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that was a little bit more eye-opening for me through training was the amount of focus on your recovery with blood flow and staying active and moving. And it's like we, look at pitchers 30 years ago coming out of the game, they've got ice packs draped all around them with saran wrap everywhere. And now when they're coming out of the game, you see them down in the locker room, they're doing a lot more dynamic recovery, heat. They'll do a lot more things like dry needling in between starts, and then they will use ice throughout different times in their recovery in between starts, but it's a lot more active recovery. It's a lot more about stimulating blood flow to the area rather than just calming down things with ice.
So foot and ankle injuries in the NFL, for example, tend to be sort of preseason, early season loaded, like Aaron Rodgers ruptures his Achilles game 2. And so my question is, what are you doing in the off season so that you're ready to go preseason game number 1? OTAs start real early in the spring. Mm-hmm. So what does your week look like now, and how will that progress between now and OTAs?
For someone like me, when a football season would end in the NFL, I'd go home. I'd probably take a week to 10 days off completely. And that's a whole different story between my body and my arm. Too much time off would actually hurt my arm. I tried all of that when I was at Notre Dame. When my elbow was killing me, I'm like, I need 3 months and just don't throw a single football if I could get it. And I remember taking a whole month and a half off, and it hurt even more. You guys might know more about that than I do, but I actually needed to, instead of go out and throw 100 balls, just throw 5 that day to keep the arm going. So that was kind of where I learned. We focus a lot in orthopedics on proprioception and sensory input. How much time can you take off before you lose touch on your throw? That's a great question. So when I'm not on a team, I've thrown twice a week, and I always felt like I was 100% good to go for any call, any tryout. I threw twice a week last year, got a call by the Eagles, arm was ready to go. I'd probably throw 70 balls in a session as hard as I could, 1 hour, all you can go, twice a week. This is the first time this year I've been throwing once a week on Saturdays with all the Notre Dame guys. Most of the guys that are hopefully our receivers for next year that aren't playing this year, they would throw with me on Saturdays at Notre Dame. And honestly, I feel like I'm throwing as good as I have been. It's been once a week. So I think it depends on what the quality of your session is and what you're doing. If I take a full 2 weeks off, the ball feels bigger in my hand. It literally feels a little bit more foreign. So I'm always big about, there'll be times I'm on vacation, I'll bring a football and I'll just literally toss it. And then getting that feel and that motion and doing that is enough. I don't have to actually go throw a bunch.